Listen, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Fight Against Mediocrity YouTube channel. I'm Kevin Kartchner, previous world unicycle champion, extreme unicycle champion. And after selling $50 million in products and services, I quit my dad's company and started the Fight Against Mediocrity, where I've helped hundreds of business owners and entrepreneurs create their own economy. So today what we're going to talk about is I was actually hired by a company to hire and train their new sales team. And it's actually going to increase their value per customer to over 1,000%. So like 10x, which is pretty cool. It got me thinking, a lot of people make big hiring mistakes. And so how do you hire? What do you look for? How do you avoid bad hires? How do you attract A players? That's what we're going to talk about today. And stick around for the very end, because I'm going to share with you a lesson. I paid $5,000 to learn. I paid $5,000 to go golf with someone, and they shared this lesson with me of which personality test they have their team members take before they join the team. And if the personality test comes back and it doesn't fit the position, they literally just don't hire them. So I'll share that at the very end. So first of all, we're going to hop into a template that I used for hiring salespeople. This is a template. It's for salespeople. Does that mean you can just use it for salespeople? No. You can change it for any position. So look at the key concepts, not necessarily the verbiage. Very first, the most important thing to understand when you're hiring is it's just like marketing. You have to know who you're trying to attract and then speak to them. Because if you speak to everyone, you're going to attract lousy, average. But if you speak to just the high achieving A players, that's who you're going to attract. A few key phrases in here that's going to do that is, we're all about winning. Someone who's not all about winning is going to read that and say, that's not for me. We do not accept blaming, gossiping, or negativity. If you find yourself complaining to others about your situation, families and friends, etc., please do not apply. What's that saying is, number one, it's saying if you are that, you're automatically disqualifying yourself. I'm not going to keep going if that's who I am. I'm going to get offended or something. And if that isn't me, and I also don't like when people do that, I'm going to be like, cool, this is my environment. These are my people. We believe in accountability. We believe in hard work. We believe in being proactive. We believe in winning, setting objectives. And then if you choose to work hard and train hard, you will be successful. So it's like marketing copy for A players. It's attracting A players. I've had so many people tell me, like, I loved the intro. I mean, that called me. I want to be a part of your team, almost begging to be a part of the team because they want to be in a winning environment. It's crazy, right? Like A players, winners want to be with other winners. So in order to attract them, you have to actually talk to them. Okay. So again, these questions can be catered to any type of job. First questions I'm asking is, what experience do you have? That's the number one thing I want to know. I don't want to know what they've thought about doing, what they've read about, what they studied in college. I don't care. I want to know what they've done. And a step further from this, typically before I hire someone, I'll actually do a test run. And so if I'm hiring, for example, a videographer, I'll have them edit a few videos before they even actually officially join the team to just see what their work looks like. You know, see how quickly they get it back. If they ask questions, you know, what's it like to work with them without actually bringing them on and committing 100%. It's kind of like, you know, you don't typically go propose to someone after the second date. You know, you date them for a little bit, you get to know them. Same thing here. It's totally fine to ask for a sample of their work. Why is sales a career you'd like to pursue? The reason I asked this question is because I want to know why they like sales. And so you could ask this with any career. Why is accounting a career you chose to pursue? If they start saying things like, well, it's just I kind of landed in it, I don't really like it, and blah, red flag. This position is remote, so we just want to know if they worked remotely before. What makes you an A player? Important to understand why they think they're an A player. Maybe they don't. If you were leading a sales team and one individual was not hitting quota, how would you handle it? Asking them how they would handle future situations that they may be in. It's cool to see how they would handle it. This is my favorite question. What's the last book you read? I can tell so much about a person just by this. If they even have read a book, what type of book it was, if they enjoyed it. It says a ton about them. And so I love this question. By far my favorite question. Do you play instruments and did you play sports? Those just show if they've been able to stick with something, if they're competitive, if they can go through the ups and downs of trials. Well, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? I like this question because it's kind of subjective. It basically lets them say, this is the hardest thing and why. Okay, so this is cool. Briefly describe your sales process from getting to greeting to collecting payment information. All this is really asking is, what do you already know? And I can tell automatically if someone's BSing this question, and I can tell if someone's truly knows the sales process. And so whatever the position may be, what question could you ask them that would clearly identify whether or not they know what they're talking about? Are you available to work evenings and weekends? With sales, appointments can run late, so just setting expectations up front. And then this is one of the best things you can do for yourself, save yourself tons of time, is ask them to upload a video. It does two things. A lot of people will disqualify themselves by just saying, I'm too lazy to do it, or I don't want to do it, or I feel uncomfortable. And you can tell so much about a person by this video alone. It's crazy. And oftentimes you can save an interview by just seeing this 30 to 60 second video. Biggest thing is make sure this is catered to experience, ask questions that set expectations, talk to them. Make this marketing copy, make this like the A players are like, yes, I want to be here. This is a winning environment because I'm so sick of Joe at work who always gossips around the office. So that's number one. A couple of other things to consider that are very, very important. And again, I'll share at the very end my favorite. Hire for culture. So what are your values? Make sure that they have those values as you're hiring them, and make sure you're attracting A players. And if you have to pay a little bit more for them, do it. A players, the best team members pay for themselves. The worst, and maybe you get maybe they're really affordable. The worst can destroy your entire company by the way they interact with your clients, by the way they do or don't do things, by the way they affect your culture with negativity, blaming, and gossiping. You just can't afford that. An A player pays for themselves 10 times over. And again, your language will attract them. So make sure everything that you're putting out about your team, about hiring, is written so that if they are an A player, they're like, ooh, this is me. This speaks to me. And if they're not, they say, this sounds kind of hard or difficult, or sounds like they kind of want a lot. So real quick, in the interview, key things to focus on in the interview are experience questions, what you've done, how you did it, what it looks like, why did it work, why didn't it work? And then just seeing if you like them. If they're a person that you don't have to be like BFFs with them, but just, do you get along? Do you vibe with each other? I recommend at least 3 interviews, one being in person with their spouse, and having them be interviewed by other team members because maybe you're blind to something. The reason is because people act differently in different settings, different situations, different times with different people. So they could be telling you one thing, and then with another team member, they could act completely different. So you want different environments and multiple people involved in the hiring process. When you hire someone, so you've taken them through this process, you vetted them, you had them do a test project. Once you hire them, there's a lot that goes into that I can't cover in this video, like helping them feel loved and a part of the culture, helping them, pushing them, but also helping them get some wins early so they build confidence. I can't go into all of that right now, but a couple of things is make sure you record everything. Everything they do, either have them recorded in a Loom video, or instead of just meeting with them in the conference room, do it over Zoom and record it. Record everything, have them document everything so that when you hire more people in that position, or if they leave, when they leave, you can train the next person a lot more quickly and efficiently. You're going to do it anyway, so you might as well record it. And then the next thing, okay, so that was it. Okay, last thing. This is my favorite. So I paid $5,000 to go golf with a guy named Ryan Pineda. He's a really cool entrepreneur. And I asked him, I'm like, dude, how do you do so much? Yeah, I mean, I think he does like at least 8 figures. I can't remember how many millions of dollars he did in his different businesses, but he only works 30 hours a week are his hours. I'm sure there are times he works more, sure, but he has a very good life-work balance, family balance. So I said, how do you do it? He's like, well, when we were into our company 2 years, it was a mess. And so I brought in an outside consultant. They had us take a personality test, and where you landed, what your personality was, that was where your position was going to be. No ifs, ands, and buts. So we literally lifted everyone up, had them take the test, then dropped them where the personality test told us to. And it's been phenomenal ever since. And when we hire, if they don't match the position to the personality, they don't get the job. And it's really cool because it's actually extremely accurate. So let me open up a new tab. It's called Predictive Index. So Predictive Index, software company. You can do quite a few for free, and then they do have like options for you to pay. Anyway, so this is it. Basically, you set up a job profile and you say, this is what the job needs to have. And then you have people take an assessment, and then it shows you which category and how much of a match they are based on the job description. But I'll show you what I am. So I'm a captain, predictive index. Self-starter, sociable, innovative, driving. Captains love rising to meet challenges, independent and strong-willed. They connect easily with colleagues and direct reports. They're natural leaders who both inspire and challenge their teams and raise the bar for their organizations. The fight against mediocrity, right? Blind spots. It also says your blind spots. Non-conforming. That's why I was such a horrible accountant. See, wish I would have taken this test before I did that. Can seem brusque. Honestly, I looked this up last time. Let's see what it says. What am I? Abrupt or off-handed in speech or manner. Yeah, I could see that. Struggles to follow structure. Again, may appear authoritative for sure. My wife would definitely agree with all those. But anyways, it's really cool. And it will actually tell you in here. There's another page. I won't go into it right now, but it'll tell you like, if you're this, these are the jobs that may suit you better. These are the type of careers that may suit you better. Anyways, so hopefully that was helpful. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you didn't, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you thought about it. If there were tips that we didn't go over that you have, drop them in the comments. Like it, subscribe. And if you're looking to hire salespeople for your business or train your sales team, reach out to me, comment in the description, message me, go to Instagram, Kevin Kartchner, and DM me. And there should be a link too down in the description that you could hit and get in touch with me. But that's what we do. We train sales team. We train salespeople to absolutely crush it and dominate. So we'll catch you on the next YouTube video. Have a great day.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here.